My presentation will be based on 4 sections. I will begin by discussing self-construction according to symbolic interactionism, explain the 5 core principles of communication privacy management theory, define comparison level from social exchange theory, and lastly explain the 5 assumptions of uses and gratification theory. According to Griffin in 2012, symbolic interactionism is created and broken into different forms. The first form is meaning, known as the proposition in which people act in regard to other people or things based on their interpretations they give them. For example, in December 2022, I posted a picture of myself on Facebook wearing short dress and a blanket. One of the comments was "Halala ngwana Msotho." This was a clear proof that people could see I'm a Sotho woman by my attire, hence they commented in Sesotho. Secondly, thinking, described as a dialogue that occurs within our minds, whereby we automatically speak with our inner self and wait for the reply. For instance, having to think of what to say before commenting on a friend's post so that I will not unintentionally offend them. Thirdly, the self is formed through language, which is a crucial mediator of meaning. For instance, in informal language such as slang, mostly used by gangsters, creates shared meaning amongst them. For example, I once posted a picture of a boy who came home stabbed. After entering the house, he shouted "Oledi Katima," and his mother said "Tima Wanaga" because he thought he meant to switching off the lights. Instead, he meant that he was dying. In addition, there is looking class self, which is the way that a person sees themselves in reaction to other people's criticism. Griffin in 2012 said that social interactions help create one's sense of self. For example, my teacher often complimented me in my academics and said I had potential. I finally saw myself as one of the smartest learners. As a result, I passed my matric. Hence, I posted my picture wearing matric uniform. The last form is generalized other, described as a person's overall opinion of themselves that is shaped by how the society responds and what they expect of a person. An example is of a picture I posted on Facebook where I was wearing a formal outfit at work as an office administrator at school. I had to look presentable because I was the first person every guest came in contact with, and since it was the school's culture. There are 5 criteria for evaluating theories. The first one is scope, referred to as a variety of events that a theory describes and clarifies. Symbolic interactionism does not provide a full description and explanation because its focus is narrowed. Secondly, testability. It looks into the possibility of how a theory's claim can be proven through the investigation. Symbolic interactionism can be tested and as a result reveal information about self, concept, and shared meanings by analyzing how certain groups use their language. Thirdly, there is parsimony criteria, known as the most basic theory that can understand, explain, describe, and even anticipate the upcoming events and bring change. Symbolic interactionism is simple, but it becomes complicated when you had to apply it. The fourth criteria is utility, described as the ability of a theory to be useful and utilized in a practical manner, which allows it to lead and inform actual life activities. Lastly, we have heurism, which Wood in 2003 described as how much a theory triggers research. Symbolic interactionism examines the situation in which interactions takes place. Communication privacy management theory consists of 5 key principles. According to Griffin in 2012, the first principle states that individuals feel they have the authority and ownership of their private information. Not respecting this principle may lead to their owner suffering from mental health issues. For example, Titi and Kiki shared Moneti's images and contact numbers without his knowledge. He did not want his private information to be shared by the public, but this couple uploaded it anyway. Second principle is that people employ their confidentiality rules and control what is private to them. If this is not followed, a person's image, relations, and professional life may be damaged. For example, Titi and Kiki broke Mineti's private rules by exchanging with their follower what he considered private and did not want to be shared. This way, they damaged Monetsi's name and invaded his privacy. Third principle is disclosure produces a confidant and co-owner. Failure to follow it may lead to disagreements that will result in illegal revealing and misusing the information. Since Titi and Kiki uploaded a video that had images and contacts of Monetsi, he received threatening calls. Fourth principle is coordination of mutual privacy. If not met, the privacy of information may be at risk. Misunderstandings and arguments may also arise. For instance, even though Monetsi begged the couple to take down the video, they refused. The last principle is boundary turbulence, relationship at risk. If the principle is not followed, a person may miss business opportunities, their reputations and relationship may be negatively impacted. The couple's actions destroyed their relationship with Monetsi and they got legal consequences. According to George Homans in 1958, the comparison level is a measure that represents what individuals believe they must obtain from a certain relationship in terms of expenses and rewards. People differ in their level of comparison because of their own personal experiences, so social media influences their comparison levels in such a way that it gives them a chance to create new experiences by giving them a chance to interact and form new relationships. Secondly, it makes them feel like they belong, as it helps them to connect with people who have same interests as them. I asked two of my friends how social media influence their relationship expectation. The first one mentioned that it has impacted her relationship negatively because they no longer share quality time with their boyfriend, since they spend time scrolling and laughing alone over social media. Her response confirms the claim. This shows that the expected standard in her relationship is not met. Second friend said that social media provokes jealousy and insecurities because couples post each other when they are on dates. This response confirms the comparison level. The uses and gratification theory consists of 5 assumptions. According to West and Turner in 2010, the first assumption talks about the audience's engagement and goal-driven uses of media. The report confirms the mentioned assumption in a way that it showed that South Africans use social media for different reasons. Second assumption is when the charge to connect need gratification to a certain chance of media is taken by the viewer. The report verifies the assumption in 93% of people uses WhatsApp to satisfy their need to communicate. Thirdly, we have the assumption where the media and the other sources are in competition to satisfy people's needs. The report confirms this assumption. There is still about 89.5% of people who still watch TV and listen to the radio, even though the internet is said to be popular. The fourth assumption is that people may be able to give researchers an actual image of their media usage, for they are well aware of what motivates or interests them and their media use. The report confirms this assumption. For instance, the report was able to provide reasons why people use media, such as staying in touch with close ones. The final assumption is that the audience are the only ones that evaluate criticisms of value. For example, the report shows that the users assess the worth of media content on the accord of their experiences and needs. About 52% preferred social media for work activities. In conclusion, social media has a very big impact not only on how we see ourselves, but also on what we expect on our relationship. In this presentation, I covered the symbolic interactionism along with criteria for evaluating theories, the core principles of communication theory, management theory, with their dangers and examples, also social exchange theory and comparison level, and finally 5 assumptions of the uses of gravitation theory. Thank you.